Hey y'all, listen. Oh my God, my computer acting a fool right now. I hope we get through today. Trending topics is Monday. And when I tell you my little computer trying to cut a fool, it's trying to cut a fool. But I'm going to see if we can get through this and if things will go well. And it's funny, I don't even have as many videos queued up, excuse me, like I normally do when I'm doing a live. So I don't know why she being angry. I know what she angry about, but she seemed to be a little angry right now. Hopefully, she'll get her life together, my computer. But today's trending topics is Monday's trending topics. Hey everybody, do me a favor. Y'all know the routine. Hit the like button, okay? Do me a favor. Hit the like button. So today's title is called "Oh My." Oh my, I kind of laughed when I saw this because the not the prosecution, the defense has to put in where they recommending that Diddy goes to serve his time, right? The judge has the ultimate decision, but the defense can put in some recommendations about the time. I laugh because I said, as much as the people tease and swear to goodness, they swear 10 toes down. I know Diddy paying me off and all kind of craziness. When they said he's looking to go to Fort Dix in New Jersey, I had a good laugh. It was a kiki and a ha ha. I said, well, "Oh my goodness, the people really gonna think that I know this man if they send him to Jersey." But I just laugh, and I actually don't even really know that facility in Jersey. But I guess that's the one they research. It has a lot of programs, and that's where he's looking to go to. So if he does come to Jersey, maybe one day I'll bump into Mama Combs, the twins in the mall, because I live in the malls now. And now if they don't go to the mall, I probably never see them. But if they happen to, when they come visit Jersey, maybe I'll see them if they stop in the mall. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about the singer David. He hired the Weinstein lawyer. And I said to myself, I said, ugh. I mean, Weinstein went to jail. If I'm going to hire me a lawyer, I'm going to do Alex Spiro that helped Jay-Z get out of his debacle. And I'm going to do Mark that pretty much helped Diddy get out of his debacle. But I ain't going to be doing, no. I'm not going to be getting no lawyer that didn't help nobody get out of their situation. I want one of these high-profile lawyers that know how to dance around the situation because now, what's the name? What is his darn name? Tyler Perry. I want to say Alex Spiro is his lawyer. He got Alex. And now they saying Derek Dixon, of course, they doing the same routine. They calling him a liar. They saying it's a money grab. And they're also saying that he filed his case in California because California has some of the strictest workplace laws. But they say, how he going to file in California when his situation happened in Georgia? So we're going to talk about this day, but he lawyered up. And then you know what? The Instagram, the TikTok, the YouTube, all of these platforms give people the opportunity to just make money. And it's a great opportunity. But when you making money because you doing pranks, after a while, you run out of pranks to do. And then it's like, how do you continue to make your money? Or they try to up the last prank that they did. So this influencer, I forgot exactly where he's from. I think he's from another country, but he did a prank where he was pretending like he had a syringe and was injecting people, and now his behind is in jail. They gotta stop all of these pranks. I don't like these pranks. I think that these platforms, they have or should have a responsibility to not allow content that can influence people so much so that it can cause harm to them or someone else. Like a lot of people are dying from, train surfing in New York. And people first saw people doing that on social media platforms. And that train surfing is so dangerous. It's sad. A lot of teens in New York City have lost their life because they call it train surfing, I think. They want to get on top of a moving train, stand up. Like, I pass on that. But you have some people that they're so easily influenced by these situations. It's just sad. So we're going to talk about that influencer. Like, I think he got 6 months behind bars. And my thing is, was it worth it? I say no. And as I talk about this Diddy thing, I'm not going to be able to show you the whole thing because this is the art of dialogue's work. I'm going to try to show a snippet and see if we'll be okay showing a snippet. But one of the S workers from the Diddy situation, his name is Clayton Howard. He's one of the ones that thought he was exclusively being called as an escort to the Diddy and Cassie parties. He is saying that he is a victim. He said that he wrote a letter to the judge asking for leniency for Diddy, but really he wrote his letter to the judge because he got his own little agenda. And he's saying that he is a victim. His letter was kind of all over the place. And I think his letter was for self-gain. But it's interesting how he said that he feels he's a victim of Cassie. And he said the people keep saying to him, well, how are you a victim and you got paid? He said the same way Cassie is a victim and she got paid. But see, let me tell you something about this world. If you are a nice looking person in the eyes of the world, you can almost get away with anything. Y'all remember that guy, Prison Bay? I don't even know what he did that landed himself in prison. But when they showed his picture, his mugshot, and pictures of him from the jail, as soon as he got out of the jail, he had modeling gigs and all of that. Like I said, I don't even remember what Prison Bay did. But when he came out, he had all types of opportunities waiting for him. All because he was a nice looking man. But studies have shown attractive people get more perks in life general. So do taller people. Oh, I believe it. I believe it 100%. But if you dark skin, the world standard is of attractive. If they don't feel you attracted, you dark skin, they don't like the way you look. Everything people want to pin on you is believable. So he's a dark skinned guy, or maybe fairly brown skin. His mouth, the people pretty much are like, he's a liar. It's a money grab. He's not a true victim. And I'm like, why? Because he's dark skinned. I don't know. It's the world we live in. Yeah, the darker, what you say there, Mark, you're right. The darker you are, the more they criminalize you. And that's a fact. That's a fact. So listen, people, y'all know what time it is, okay? It's time for me to bring the people. Yeah, I'm going in and out. I'm going to try. I don't know what to do. I appreciate you, Julius. I kind of see my thing acting a fool. I'm going to see what I could do after I introduce the first story. Maybe I could go out, come back in. I don't know. We're going to see how this go. Hopefully it'll work, right? All right. Listen, guys, y'all know what time it is. I want to bring the people on in the building. I need a one in the chat. I need a shoot. All aboard, everybody. It is Monday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. The title's called Oh My. Diddy headed to a jail in New Jersey? Maybe, if the judge gives him his way. But listen, we've seen this judge, and we know how this judge rolls. Everything Diddy asked for is pretty much a no, okay? We got David the Singer. He lawyered up. Does he have the right lawyers? Maybe he does. And the reason why I said maybe he does, because this whole time, to date, we ain't heard a word from David, and he ain't get arrested yet. Now, I'm not saying he did anything, but nobody's been arrested yet. So he must have some. Maybe his lawyers are good. And we got this influencer that was jailed over a prank. You know, they got to stop doing the most. Stop doing the most just because you want this money from you doing these videos. And maybe they shouldn't incentivize those videos where they're doing these dangerous pranks. Maybe get no money from that. All right, let me bring the people on in the building. Hold on. Hey, Julius.
Hey, y'all, hit the like button.
Let's
and
see.
Please be
the computer working.
Because I am
trying to bring
watching.
Savannah in. Hey, Savannah. Hey, Savannah. Let's see if it works.
Hey, Diva. Hey, Diva.
Uh-oh. Hey, Wayne.
Hey, Diva.
Hey. Hey, Katrina. Hey, Callie.
Hey, y'all.
Hey. Hey, in my opinion.
Hey, Diva. Choo choo.
Okay, everybody tell me to.
Diva, hey, panel. Hey, chat. Choo, choo,
Hey,
choo.
hey. Hey, thanks, SK. I see you in the chat there. I see all of y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. I am going to see if I could go out and come back in. But last time it seemed like my computer took so long when I tried to do that, but I will try to do it. But first, before I do it, let me just go ahead and introduce the first story. Let's see if my computer will let me do that. I feel like the computer is mad at some article maybe that is jamming up my computer. I don't know, but I literally today is funny. I have the least amount of stuff open. Oh my God, they found another body on Bell Mountain in Georgia. I think that's a serial killer. I really do. Maybe I'll do that story one night this week in trending topics. 48, I'm trying to bring you in, but you know I'm having technical difficulties. Just hanging there for a minute. And I'm trying to bring up this article. So we're going to see what goes here. All right. So maybe I'll start. Let me see. Maybe I'll start. Okay, 48. I'm trying to add you again. Maybe I'll go ahead and start reading the article, even though y'all can't see it yet. And don't leave, 48. I'm really trying to bring you up. My computer's just acting up. So it's that Diddy, I want to do hard time at Fort Dix. Okay. So Diddy, let me see. Maybe. See, my computer is acting as if it's showing. I'll just continue to read and then we'll go into it. Diddy got a preferred prison in mind for where he wants to serve out the remainder of his 50-month sentence in its FCI Fort Dix. Tenny Garagos, one of the attorneys who represented Diddy in his criminal trial, fired off a letter obtained by TMZ Monday to Judge Aron Submaranian, asking the court to recommend to the Bureau of Prisons that Diddy be shipped off to the low security federal correctional institution in New Jersey. Like I said, I do know where Fort Dix is at. I just don't personally know much about this this particular facility. But they're telling us it's a low maximum. Diddy's legal team, hold on one second. Oh, the computer is just acting a fool. So Diddy's legal team says FCI Fort Dix is the best landing spot for Diddy because there he can address drug abuse issues and maximize family visitation and rehabilitative efforts. Let's see. Tenny's father and longtime Diddy attorney, Mark Garagos, previously told Harvey on the Two Angry Men podcast, Diddy will have a target on his back wherever he ends up. Diddy attorneys told the judge Friday at sentencing, someone already planned to shank him in jail. Which, you know what, whether it's Diddy or anybody else, I just think the violence in jail, that overall they need to do something about it because it's just incredibly sad. So other celebrities who have done hard time at FIC Fort Dix include Real Housewives of New Jersey star Teresa and Joe Giudice. Judge Subramanian can recommend a prison for Diddy as well. It doesn't have to be Fort Dix, but ultimately the borough or prisons have the final say. Oh, see, that I didn't know. Diddy has been locked up for over a year at MDC, and he will call federal prison home for more than 2 years. And it will be interesting to see if the BOP agrees with his lawyer's recommendation or if the feds ship Diddy off somewhere else. By the way, we checked herbal oil and prayer oil, they messy, are available, but there's no baby oil at the Fort Dix commissary, although baby powder is available. And they're pretty much saying stay tuned because we see that recommendations go in, but just because that's what you recommend, that does not mean that's where you will end up going. So go ahead, Julia, start off the conversation with this about where he's being recommended to go. Please stay on topic here. Julia, your thoughts.
So it's a minimum security prison.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So minimum security. I feel like if he is seeking treatment, if he is going to adhere to the guidelines of seeking treatment, maintaining, if he is sober,
Mm-hmm.
sober, yes. If he's that, and if he wants to work at maintaining that, I think he can also have his attorneys write a letter to the judge. Look, he's willing to work at this, and this facility has the best people available, so he could continue to do that. I don't see no issue with it.
Mm-hmm.
Truly
Mm-hmm.
don't.
Thank you. Savannah, your thoughts?
So, Diva, you're about to get a neighbor. That's nice. Fort Dix, Fort Dix is as far as I know, it's still an active military installation. It just it used to be an all Army training post, but now I know the Navy and Air Force also do practices and training on Fort Dix. So that is still an active military installation. I actually think that that is a good idea for him to go to Fort Dix. It is a all male minimum security facility with they do have quite a few programs there that might benefit Sean. So, you know, it's still going to keep him close enough to family where he can come and visit, being that he still has ties across the bridge. And I think that will be good for him if that's where they choose to send him. it will, although substances will still find their way into the prison system. I think it's a more controlled environment versus him going down to Miami and being, in that area. But I wouldn't be mad if if that's where he ends up. I do hope that they take that recommendation. And when you get on the visitors log, Diva, let us know. And we will send you some lunch money, train money, or something. Let us know when you go visit. Okay.
You funny. Callie, your thoughts?
Well, hopefully the judge will approve it. I mean, prison is supposed to be about real rehabilitation, and he does. If he's gonna be in there for the next few years, at least let the man get some rehab. He clearly has a very bad substance problem.
Mhm.
Now, my worry is that this judge is gonna come back and say, "Well, you ain't in there for no substance crime, so we're not approving this."
Mhm.
So hopefully that don't happen. I just don't trust this judge at all.
Yeah.
But hopefully he will end up somewhere where he can get the help that he obviously needs. I'm still getting over all of the substances in that bedroom. I still have not gotten that out of my head.
What?
So
You
yeah,
you
in his
know you know
bedroom he
you
had.
know Yeah, but you know why it's not shocking me? I'm gonna tell you why it's not shocking me. Because I watched Being Bobby Brown with Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown.
Oh yeah.
And when you see the pictures that I want to say at the time his sister did it, right? That his sister leaked to the press that was from their bathroom and all the substances and the paraphernalia to do the substances that was in that bathroom. It was very sad. So when the thing is, when somebody is a drug addict, they're a drug addict, and when they're that bad on the drugs, that they're that bad on the drugs. So that didn't shock me. And then he himself told us at the end of the day, for the first time in 25 years, this man is 55. So that
Wow.
means that you have been drugging it up since you was 20 at the very least, because he said out of his own mouth, the first time in 25 years he has been sober and
So
clean.
since he was like in his late 20s,
He's been doing it for a minute. I
he's
was
had a
thinking
problem.
exactly, right? He's
Yeah.
55, so 20 exactly. He's been doing it. But
Okay.
it's also the
Yeah.
other problem is this industry, right? This industry, and we see it, it's in our face. We see it low level on the housewives, right? They love to allegedly get them drunk. And like every time you turn around, it's some place where they're going in there drinking, and then somebody had too much to drink, and then boom, you see this. And then there's been a couple of shows where the people have to deal with some type of substance abuse issues. We have the Southern Charm. That girl just got 30
Mhm.
days for her DUI. We got Karen Huger went to jail for a DUI. We got the what's the name sister from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills dealing with the alcoholism. So in the
The Richards, Kim
industry,
Richards.
Yeah, no, Kim is
right?
a crack addict.
Yeah, but in the
That's not alcohol.
right. But
Yeah.
either way, in the entertainment industry, period, they play around with this stuff, and there's so many people that get hooked. The one that really shocked me, it was a real shocker to me, was Prince. It shocked me. I was
I
not
think
ready for that.
maybe because of his hip issues, I think that's what finally got him hooked. I could be wrong.
Mhm.
But people do offer you stuff. I can even attest to that. I don't even work in that industry. I've just been invited to events. People will offer you stuff. But it's just like you got to just have a head about yourself to be like, I don't do that. But I mean, I just hope the man is able to get some help and that they don't come back and say, well, we're not approving this because this is not what you in jail for. Because they could potentially do that. So
Yeah. Tyler, see, that's the thing. They put out all these false narratives and people run with it. Brian still came right out after he heard that they were saying that he set up speaking engagements. His lawyer came out and said that that was not so, and he explained all of those engagements that they was calling speaking engagements. So you can actually go look that up, because it's part of the record. Because Brian still talked about it. Katrina, your thoughts?
Yeah, Diva. Any base that he gets on, if they let him get on a military base, they're pretty easy. The reason why I say that because the only thing about in the feds out on a military base, they just can't go home. Cause I used to see them at the golf course getting shoes and everything. Some of them used to sneak to the mall. Um, it just all depends on the base that he's going to. But more than likely, if you're on a military base in a federal prison, um, it's really more like blue collar. You might have some with like the substance and stuff like that, but there ain't nobody in there's gonna really shank you or anything like that. Because most of them in there want to get out. Most of them in there like lawyers, doctors. A little D dealer or what he's doing. But the military bases, they're pretty lenient, sort of like what just Lane Maxwell is at, but they're pretty lenient. So hopefully, but they strict too. The only thing about it is you just can't go home. They make them do jobs. They get paid. I think 10. I think it's 5 cent now. They get paid 5 cent an hour. Whatever job they doing, they get to be outside. They get to go mow lawns. They get to, someone get to work in kitchens and all that type of stuff. So and then hopefully he will get the help that he needs because we all know we need help. And that's why we got to say, people, you got to pick everybody in their life got a vice, but you just got to pick that right vice. So hopefully he can get some help. And all I can say is good luck and we'll see how it goes. That's all I got.
Thank you. Wayne, your thoughts?
I think he should be able to go whatever prison he wants to. I mean, he's doing the time. Could be the same amount of time, so let him pick where he wants to go. And like you said, the Federal Bureau of Prisons have the last say so, right? Yeah. I think, too, in New Jersey, now, with the kind of money that Diddy got, you ain't going to make me believe that he ain't going to be paying them people off. And when I mean paying them off, you get assigned to get this duty, you pay somebody to do it for you. That dude, Chrisley, he was talking about when he was in jail, he didn't do nothing. He bought pizza for all of them. So when you got money, you can do that. And if he got this finesse like he had at MDC with the classes and stuff like that, do the same thing up there. If he can pull that off with a couple dollars, he will have a smooth ride through prison. That's what I believe anyway. Money talk, BS walk.
In my opinion, your thoughts?
So I think here's the thing. I think they already have talked to somebody at the bureau level of Federal Bureau of Prisons to make sure he got where he wanted to go. I think that was the first thing they did. I also think here's the thing. I don't think he's completely clean. Because let's be clear, there are substances going around in the jails and the prisons. Just like there are cell phones going around. You ain't supposed to have it, but they have it. These guards get paid to bring that stuff in. They bring it in. All I'm saying is this may be the cleanest version of him that we've seen in 25 years. But I really don't believe that man is completely clean. I don't. And I feel like if he goes there, he's just gonna have an easier ride because minimum means it's not as structured. It's more lax. So he's gonna pay them guards out very well. He's gonna have somebody send them some money to their bank account. One of them guards gonna have a Ferrari or something driving around the city in a little while. Okay, and he gonna be Diddy's best friend, getting him everything he need. That's the reason why he want to be in minimum security. But hey, if they like it, I love you.
I appreciate you, but I think he want to be in minimum security because he don't want to be in jail anymore. Period. So if you could get into a less restrictive place, why not? And if my lawyers are recommending, I'm for sure not going to want them to recommend the hardest prison out there, because I already did one of the roughest in New York, and that's the Metropolitan Detention Center out there in Brooklyn. So if Ghislaine Maxwell could be in a little camp, then why can't he? 48, your thoughts?
Hey Diva, panel chat. Okay, Diva, so I honestly think I'm kind of leaning towards like what Callie was saying. Um, I don't think the judge is gonna like give Diddy any more leniency than he already gave him. You know what I'm saying? And if he does like send him to a minimum security place or whatever, I don't think it will be anywhere easy for his family to get to him. I think it's like he low key gonna punish the family too. You know, I
Mm,
just don't think that he's gonna make it um easy for Diddy. But I really do hope that Diddy is getting clean. I hope that when he says that this is like the cleanest he's been in 25 years, I really do hope that that's it. And he is really getting time now to sit with his thoughts and his demons and get that stuff together. And being the businessman, entrepreneur, visionary mogul that he is, Diddy can flip this. Like when I say that I really hope he getting his thoughts and stuff together, I hope we get Sean Combs when we come out. I hope we don't get a persona. I hope Sean Combs comes out and flips this whole thing where whatever he decides to do, whatever, speaks to his heart when he's locked up. But I just hope that that's what he's doing and make what they meant to tear him down, destroy him and his family and his legacy, that he flips it for the good, for himself and his family.
I appreciate you. Thank you. And meaningful talk. I appreciate you. So she's saying that that particular facility is known for his drug program. So that sounds like someplace he would need to be, because he does need extensive work on this. And listen, we know for ourselves, not even taking nothing extreme as drugs. Take it for something like just simple of when you want to wean yourself off of sugar or drinking coffee every day, and how hard it is and how your name calls you back to said coffee shop and everything else. It's no different. It's just that we look at it differently when it's something like drugs or alcohol. We're like, oh, they could stop if they want to. Oh, they need to go to rehab. Oh, they need to this. But yet, even when we tell ourselves, I'm going to go to the gym 3-4 times a week once the new year comes, and 2 weeks in, you fell off the wagon. Imagine trying to wean yourself off of substances, coffee, sugar. It's no difference. It's an illness. And at this point in their life, their body, that drug is calling their name. And they literally can get sick and die if they don't wing off of that stuff the right way, or if they've been off it for a minute and then go back and try to take the same amount they took before they came off. I personally believe, this is not a fact. I don't know. I wasn't out there. I don't know the man. But I personally believe those times that we heard that he went to the hospital when he was out there in the Metropolitan Detention Center, I think it had more something to do with an overdose, or not an overdose, or him winging off of these drugs or something like that. I really do believe that. That's just my personal opinion, and I don't know anything for a fact. But I really thought that that's the reason why they probably had to end up sneaking him out at the middle of the night to the hospital because of all that. And Diddy can reduce his sentence. They said, thank you, Amy J. Thank you for the information. I appreciate you. She said Diddy can reduce his sentence if he take a drug program. I believe 18 months, like reduce it down to 18 months. So yeah, I did, because they did say he will get credit, if he gets into different programs or not. And you be a dummy as a person that has to go. Of course, you're going to say, yeah, send me somewhere where I could get into these programs, and it's a dual win because I'm doing a program and then I'm also potentially reducing my time. So I do hope that he gets his life together. I believe again that I think he learned a lesson only because this is the first time where he actually had to physically pay by being behind bars for something he has done. To this day, he never paid harshly like the way he did in this criminal trial for all of the things that his wrongdoings. And when I say wrongdoings, I'm gonna go by the ones that I know he really got charged of. And that was the one with out there at the college, with his son and the kettlebell and the coach. They slapped him on the hand. They gave him like 1 day of community service, and then he had to pay the man some money, and it went away. So he was used to, but again, we create monsters. And the society will let a celebrity get away with the most, depending on who said celebrity is. They will get away with more than we will ever get away with. So we're going to see. Time will tell. And let me just play a little bit of this. I hope we can do this. But y'all need to go to, if you're interested, go to the Art of Dialogue's channel. This is Clayton Howard. He is one of the S workers. Now he claiming, he's a victim also. And he wrote a letter to the judge, and it's all over the place. But let's take a listen.
My God, happy to have you back on the platform, man. The last interview did crazy numbers. Had to bring you back and get your reaction. Let the people know who you is, man. For the people that's not familiar with you, that didn't see the last interview.
All right, I go by my regular name now, which is Clayton Howard, and I am a victim of count 3. And unfortunately, Diddy has gone to prison for sex trafficking me. So I'm a victim of the Diddy sex trafficking scheme. I'm one of the former male escorts.
Yes, indeed. So how you feel about Diddy getting 50 months?
Well, his 50 months in prison. Let's see. I kind of got mixed feelings. Do I think he should have went to prison? Absolutely. As a victim of it, I can say definitively that he did it. I just don't like the fact that the statute to put him in prison. And all the other women that were abused, read it in court, right? I might as well read it for your platform. All right, let's start. So it says, Dear Judge Submarinian, I am writing to your honor as a victim and a witness in the case involving Mr. Sean Combs. My intention in this letter is to respectfully request that the court consider leniency during Mr. Combs' sentencing. I understand the gravity of the allegations and the importance of justice, and I hope to provide my perspective as someone who was directly involved in this matter. I cooperated with the prosecution for 18 months, providing truthful and detailed accounts of my experiences with Mr. Combs and Ms. Ventura. I submitted evidence, including airline receipts, boarding passes, and hotel information, which were used to strengthen the prosecution's case. I testified before a grand jury where an indictment was returned against Mr. Combs in March of 2025. I also interviewed to witnessing numerous instances of domestic violence involving Mr. Combs and Ms. Ventura, as well as the toxic and volatile nature of their relationship. However, I must emphasize that while I do not condone Mr. Combs' conduct regarding domestic violence, I never witnessed Ms. Ventura being forced into any sexual encounters. On the contrary, my personal experiences with her revealed a willing and active participant in these interactions. I shared this information with prosecution, but I believe it was disregarded in favor of a narrative that was more advantageous to their case. As a victim myself, I was trafficked across straight lines, contracted an STD, and faced significant emotional and physical harm during my involvement with Mr. Combs and Miss Ventura. My relationship with Miss Ventura was so extensive that I impregnated her, and despite terminating the pregnancy, she continued to contact, coerce, and sex traffic me for years afterwards. The trial revealed she had dozens of men to call. So why call Clayton Howard? Because she preferred me, she enjoyed me, and she chose me. Despite all this, my experiences were overlooked, and I felt silenced by the very system that is meant to protect victims. The male victims of this enterprise were denied justice. Those victims were not Cassandra. No, the true victims of this enterprise were denied justice. Excuse me. Those victims were not Cassandra and Jane Doe. They were the dozens of men, these three, Mr. Combs, Miss Ventura, and Jane Doe, co-conspirators manipulated for years, seeking the gratification of their own perverse desires. Mr. Combs is not innocent and should be punished, but not based on the fabricated narratives that hide the truth of the matter to which he is to be imprisoned. That is not justice. I firmly believe in justice, due process, and despite being denied it often by law enforcement, I strongly believe that justice should be served in every case. I do not seek to diminish the experiences of other victims. However, I also believe that the prosecution's approach in this case was flawed, as it failed to present the full truth and disregarded the complicity of other parties involved. Miss Ventura and Jane Doe were victims of domestic violence. That is 100% true. But sex trafficking, I beg to differ. I'm sorry, but unfortunately not. I was personally called by Miss Ventura for years, who would be intoxicated, making extremely graphic suggestions regarding the things she wanted sexually when I would arrive and present myself to her. She would get annoyed and even angry when Mr. Combs interrupted us while engaged. She would have sexual encounters with me when he told us to stop and wait until he returned off phone calls he took in other rooms. This would cause arguments and acts of domestic violence also. All of this I reported to the prosecutors. Mr. Combs has already faced significant consequences, and I do not believe he poses a threat to anyone at this stage. I must seek my own justice within the civil courts, as prosecutors have denied me that justice based on my ethnicity and my gender. And that was a problem in presenting the truth of matters. A criminal enterprise did exist. Mr. Combs was part of it, and he most certainly did control it through his influence and resources. But he did not do it alone. He had help, and that help was his personal staff and his girlfriends, who were Miss Ventura and Miss Jane Doe, for extended periods of times. They both testified to wishing to please their lover. Wanting to please takes making the decision, and making the decision means you have the freedom to do it. Miss Ventura preferred me. I know this. Mr. Combs was not a fan of mine in the beginning for years of our association. But over time, we gained a mutual respect through Miss Ventura's preference of me. I do not imply romance by stating this, but Miss Ventura did prefer me. She and I had the same birthday, which was August 26th, and she would call me for years to meet and have sexual encounters on our birthday. Based on my years of knowing Mr. Combs, I am confident he will not repeat the mistakes of the past. I respectfully ask the court to consider these factors and grant Mr. Combs leniency during his sentences. Thank you for taking the time to consider my perspective. I trust the court's wisdom and fairness in reaching a just decision. And I overnighted that to the judge and hoped that the judge would get it. And at least finally, my perspective might be.
Whew. So that was his letter. He feels like he's a victim. He feels like a Cassie trafficking him. It's a lot.
If Cassie ain't a victim, he ain't a victim neither, because he could have said no all them times she was calling. Evidently, he liked it up too.
Child, it's a lot. I just want to give you that man's side and said that he wrote a letter and he wondered why they didn't read his letter. Of course they didn't read his letter, because in his letter he's saying Cassie's not a victim. He's the victim and Cassie sex trafficking him. So, sir, they wasn't going to read your letter. Anyway, guys, let me go ahead and share screen and get into the next story. I just want to introduce you. Go to the Art of Dialogue. You can hear his whole story if you want to. It's about 32 minutes or 33 minutes. I just want to share with you that you know what he wrote his letter. They didn't read it. He said, yeah.
I think we're missing something. Unless he was one of the people that were specifically taken across state lines, he was acquitted of the other things. So that's why his letter was not read. Because he actually is not a victim of what he was convicted of.
Well, the
Now
problem
he
is
can go.
the real problem, but the real problem is, Cassie, that we don't know who the victims are because they're not really saying.
Well,
So
it's
that's why, but that's why he's confused too, right? Because
well,
who?
no. He was convicted of something, and then you have a judge doing something that really he constitutionally should not be doing. So,
Exactly. So
yeah.
that's why you got Clayton Howard confused too, because the judge is doing whatever he want to do. So he figured you doing what you want to do, I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm letting you know for the 10th time I'm a victim. So anywho, but really everybody has their own agenda in this thing, and part of their agenda is getting more evidence and more validation for their civil suit, because he's suing Cassie and Diddy right now, because he also, like he said in his letter, he felt like Cassie sex trafficking him. It's a mess, but I just wanted to let y'all know that Clayton didn't go away. He said he overnighted that letter to the judge and was mad that it wasn't introduced into the process. So let's get into this really quickly. David, the singer, still no updates on this Celeste Revis case. But we also found out, we also now know in real time, she was laid to rest today. Her family laid her to rest out there in California, and they're saying David Hires Harvey Weinstein lawyer as cops probe how teens remains ended up in his Tesla. So, romantic homicide singer David has hired one of Harvey Weinstein's lawyers as cops probe into how this runaway was in his Tesla. And so David, whose legal name is David Anthony Burke, has faced scrutiny about this death. I just wanted to really bring to you that he hired this lawyer, Blair Burke, okay, who also helped out Mel Gibson. I'm just saying to myself, this is interesting. He does have a high-powered lawyer. I don't know how this thing is going to turn out. But it's just this whole thing is kind of like a mystery in the sense that we still didn't hear about anybody being what do you call it? Being like a main suspect in this case, because he's not even a suspect. That's what the cops are saying right now. He's not even a suspect. But he does have a high power lawyer. And listen, when you're in any type of trouble, the smart thing to do is lawyer up, okay? And the Crease Matter says stand up for Clayton's rights. Listen, what I do understand that came out of Clayton's mouth, what makes sense is he's saying everybody's saying he can't be a victim because he got paid, but he said Cassie got paid too. But y'all accept the fact that she's a victim. So all I can say is men matter too. I don't want to get too deep into Clayton's story because it's a mess. Okay, Julius, your thoughts on David, the singer, hiring a high-powered lawyer to represent him in this situation that is currently going on?
Oh, he must have that. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
He must have that good legal counsel because he is putting the shut to the up. He not saying none. He like, you see me where? Counsel, they see me where? I don't know nothing. Ooh, that's what he doing. He not saying nothing. We don't know what outfit he had on. We don't know where he was at performing. We don't know nothing. And I'm like, ooh, where they do that at? Okay then.
Thank you, Julius. Savannah, your thoughts?
He needed to lawyer up, because I think that one thing I am appreciating is that law enforcement has been really tight-lipped on this case, and anything that comes out of this case. I mean, we really don't even have a cause and manner of death yet for the young lady.
That is true.
So the the reporting on the findings in the home or the findings in the vehicle. Is there any other potential suspects? So I really think it was about time that he lawyered up because I think that this is they're starting to tie up loose ends, and someone they're going to be bringing out some information on this story soon. I think definitely before the holidays there would be some type of new details coming out, or um, and I'm glad that the family did lay her to rest today. That story needed to be complete, and she needed to have her body needed to be put at peace. So, although his choice of lawyer, I'm side eyeing because I remember
Mhm.
that I did watch Harvey Weinstein's lawyers when he went to that case in New York, I think it was, on Law and Crime, and they were disorganized, and but Harvey didn't make it any better because he was faking that he was sick or dementia. I can't. I remember he was a sweaty mess, but
And
I
they
think
ended
that
up
was.
really getting sick, right? They ended up really getting sick.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is true. That is true. So, I mean, I do think that it was about time that he lawyered up. Side eyeing his choice of a lawyer, but I think that he knows that the police department is being very thorough with how they're conducting this investigation. And someone in his circle is going to be identified soon as a potential suspect.
Yeah, I agree. Callie, your thoughts?
Well, when I first heard he had gotten a lawyer, it was like maybe 2, 3 weeks ago, and they said it was Mel Gibson's old attorney. So I don't know if this is the same person or if he's like
Yes.
constructing. Okay, I do believe, and see, the thing is, Harvey Weinstein had so many trials. I don't know what lawyer is what and what lawyer is who.
Mm,
One of Harvey Weinstein's charges were overturned, at least one, if not two. So if
okay.
this is the person that got those charges overturned, they might be a good lawyer.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. This whole case is very strange. I'm starting to worry that this is going to be one of these cases where nobody's going to get arrested and they're just going to just let us forget about it.
Mm.
Because they're acting very weird. You
Mm-hmm.
know, even Harvey Levin said, he was like, I've been working with these people for over 20 years. They've never act like that. They never just hung up the phone in my face. You know, it's just like weird stuff. And I know I am not a DA or a police officer,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still a little hard for me to believe that someone would have the body of a missing, barely teenage, like a missing kid in their car, and they wouldn't have to be arrested first and then explain their way out of it. Like, to me,
I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you.
this whole thing is weird, and I'm kind of wondering if it's a case where they sort of know who did it, but they also know they don't have the evidence to arrest that person.
No, I'm
Because
feeling
I'm
you.
trying to understand what is going on here. Because as we all said, the car has cameras. I'm sure somebody's got ring cameras, surveillance cameras around their homes. They saw something around. They've had this has been going on long enough for them to have reviewed those things. They should have enough to arrest somebody. I don't know. This is just very, very weird.
Yeah. You know why I'm feeling you? Because even if I'm driving in the car and somebody else's that maybe my passenger or people that are with me, they had something, let's just say they had some substances and it slipped out of their pocket and that was in my back seat and I didn't know when I continued to drive my car, my stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling you. There's something about this ain't it's just something ain't
This
right.
girl, this girl was reported as a missing person.
Right.
So and like I said, I'm not a cop, I'm not a DA. I don't know exactly how the law works, but it seems like he would have been arrested and then he would have had to explain his way out of it.
Right.
Even if the charges were later dropped
Right.
or he won in court, but to not, I don't understand how they don't have enough to arrest him. He was clearly around this girl. He knew her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a missing person, a missing kid, and her body is found in his vehicle. This is so bizarre.
It's very bizarre, and I like the way you put that because you're right. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I guess I don't know if I gotta say allegedly, but these Teslas seem to be problematic. I just saw a story today where I believe the girl, they crashed the Tesla or something happened, but the Tesla caught on fire. The door locked, and they could not get out.
You
So
know, on TMZ, because Harvey does like a live stream of the office throughout the day, and they were actually playing around with one of the guys' Teslas to see how this particular trunk works, if it could have been a freak accident.
Mhm.
But that particular trunk in the front, somebody has to push it closed. It can't close from the app.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm assuming that it's a law that all trunks have to have a glow in the dark pull in the inside.
Do they?
I thought that was a law.
I don't know.
Because I'm wondering if this is some kind of weird freak accident.
No, it's not.
I don't know. This is crazy.
Her body was dismembered. It wasn't a freak accident.
I thought it was just badly decomposed.
No. They said dismembered. And then wasn't she in the trash bag too? She was wrapped in something. She wasn't just in there. I thought she was in the trash bag.
I don't know what the truth is.
I'm gonna have to go back and look.
Yeah,
but I thought she was in a trash bag too. Katrina, your thoughts?
You're correct, Eva. You're correct, Eva. She was dismembered and in a bag.
Yeah. So this wasn't her doing it herself. Yeah. Katrina?
Yeah. If he didn't do it, he sure made a song about doing it. Did he watch somebody do
See,
it?
and that's a good argument that someone was trying to set him up.
Mm-hmm. Because look at the lyrics that he wrote in that song.
Yeah, we know about the lyrics. We
So
talked
yeah.
about that.
So like I said, if he didn't do it, somebody knew the lyrics or whatsoever and trying to frame him. And like we said, that Tesla got cameras all on the side of it, and nobody seen nothing. No, the cameras ain't picked up nothing. And if not, that car need to go back. And like you said, even with those little cars that he's making, the little robo cars that he has in Texas, with putting people on the side of the road. There's no way I'm gonna get in no car and let it drive me, and I can't get no way to get to that steering wheel. But I'm on the boat with you in Cali. I mean, something is weird. And like I said, and if it's like the trial that they did in Georgia, where they was using Young Thug lyrics and all that against them, I hope they don't do the same thing to him. But if he did that, well, he need to go down, because right now they're trying to use the lyrics of a song to prosecute these people. So
Yeah,
we'll
but
see how it goes.
I'm gonna go back to Cassie. I mean to Cali. I'm gonna go back to Cali. When you got my car and something's in it, they pulling me in because it's my car.
Mm-hmm.
And so and I'm leaning with Cali, like they know more than they're saying, but what is taking so long? It's something very weird about this. We don't even have to do a whole bunch of conspiracies and all that. They know something, and why aren't they moving? I don't understand it.
Me either, Dee. But that's all I got.
Yeah, Wayne, your thoughts?
Of course, he had the lawyer up, whether he's innocent or not. But I believe he knows what happened. And I think it's time. Because he doesn't want to be implemented in it. He may have known what happened or whatever. And I think he's just said it's time to talk to a lawyer. Because I don't believe that you've been with this young lady this long and you don't know nothing. She's missing. So he had the lawyer up because it's coming down. That boy knows something. You ain't gonna tell me he don't. He knows something. but he don't want to be the one to tell it, and he needs some protection for himself to cover his. It's called CYA.
In his family at this point, because the people know where his parents live, and they just recently, what was it, in mid-September, they did that prank phone call to his house. So, in my opinion, your thoughts?
Listen here. I really do think he had something to do with it. I do. I don't think nobody that, especially as grotesque as his lyrics is, I don't think nobody in his position is going more than a week without knowing where his girlfriend is, talking to or something. He's been talking to this girl since she was 11, that we can go back and tell. She had just turned 15, so they've been together for at least 4 years.
Okay.
You ain't telling me she came up missing for a week. You ain't talked to her. She ain't called. She ain't text you nothing, and you okay with it? No, that ain't now black man on this earth that's finna be okay with it. That's first of all, because then they gonna think you creeping on them. I ain't buying this. He don't know nothing. He knows something. Okay, if he didn't do it himself, he had an accomplice that helped him. He knows something. And he wants to hide behind, I wasn't even here. And my car was parked down the street. But your car wasn't that far from your house. So I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. He wanted it to look like it was somebody else, but he did this. He had 3 songs about this girl, and all of them was explicit.
Oh God, 48.
Well, like I agree with everybody else. Like his lyrics are different, but I'ma just have to wait till more stuff come out. I just feel like if it was like just hardcore evidence that he was involved, he would have been arrested already. So to me, it's like it has to be other people, someone else. You know, like in my opinion, said maybe he knows the person, maybe he's seen the video, they're trying to find the person. I don't know. But to me, if he had anything to do with it, if they had any inkling that he had anything to do with it, I think they would have him arrested just for the safety of other people. That would make sense if you dismembered body is in your car and they got evidence that you did it. Like to me,
Yeah.
That is so true.
but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, his music is dark, but I'ma just wait to see, and I hope not, because he's a young black man. I hope not. I just hope that it's, he got mixed up with some nefarious people, and he learns a lesson. You know what I'm saying? He was homeschooled, so not saying that he's not sociable, but those kind of kids tend to be, socially awkward sometimes. You know
100.
what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I just hope it's not true.
Oh, I hope not either. But I did see a video like interview with him, and he felt he was like the kind of like the internet is his family and friends and all this other stuff. This was, because he's only 20. Right. This is when he was a little bit younger, when they talk about how like somebody was asking him how he got discovered. If I can find that interview, I'll show it to us next time. I do think that it doesn't help that he had a video pretty much with this same scenario of what happened to this girl, right? Because in one of the songs of the video, I think it might be that romantic homicide. It's like he took the girl's life, dragged her to the trunk of the car, yada yada who. He was selling shirts that simulated blood on it on his site, and those shirts was kind of like selling out. This is before all of this came out about this young lady. I think what happens too, which is very problematic with a lot of these celebrities, especially when they're young like this, instead of having like their parents involved, and this manager came out and said the manager is removing and absolving himself from everything. He's like, I didn't know nothing, I didn't see nothing. I was just his manager. I didn't know about this girl and her being underage. So the manager spoke. Don't know the manager name or what he looked like, but the manager did speak. In B Mac K, I don't know, BMCK, I agree with you. That is a fact. But I guess when you can't determine the relationship that he had with said girl, I guess I don't know. But there's people that said they know they was living together. Neighbors said they knew they was living together. So I'm gonna go back to you. You are right. I don't know what to say about this. This is weird because according to her own mother and family, they knew that she had a boyfriend named David, right? The people in the neighborhood often saw him come in that Tesla and pick her up. So, and she was underage. This case is so strange and peculiar. But I think the strangest part for all of us is the fact that nobody got arrested. And I don't know how you don't know when someone is just young. I know they said she had fake IDs and all of that other type of stuff, but my problem is he met her at 10, 11. Let's just, for speaking purposes, let's say he met her at 11. You can simply start to ask people about the high school they go to, this, that, and the other. And if she was a runaway, that means she wasn't going to school. And if you thought she was a college student, what college is she going to? Like, this is a mess. You know what? To me, when I see the pictures, so she died when she was 14, right? Because her birthday was the day they found her. They said, I think, was her birthday. And then so she would have been 15. When you see the pictures of her, she doesn't look like she doesn't look extremely young to me. She doesn't. When I look at those pictures. And then she looked like, because there's ring footage of her arguing with the neighbors at her actual home with her parents. She seemed like she was tall. And sometimes when people are taller, they appear like they're older. Let me see, Diva, the video, he dragged his own body and put himself in the trunk. Still very strange about the correlation. Okay, I thought it was someone else. But yeah, the correlation is still very strange. And that's why I think that, someone that they're perhaps trying to set him up, they do something because they know his music is already dark. If it was a setup, and I don't know, I would say the person definitely has to know him, right? And they had to have access to his car in his home. And again, maybe when they did, maybe they do have some footage and they know for sure when the car was parked where it was parked, maybe he was somewhere doing a concert. So they may know, like, well, he was in the car when they parked the car there, but that doesn't mean that he didn't do it. And maybe who was ever in the house got tired of smelling the body and figured they put it in the trunk of the car and then moved the car. I don't know. This thing is strange. We will see. Let me hurry up and roll into this last story. But we're going to stay connected to this David story. And there's so many stories we have to stay connected to. I will tell you that I also saw an update on the cheerleader with the baby in the closet. She Googled, how do you conceal a pregnancy? I think this part I said before, she deleted pictures of her actually delivering the baby. So she did a lot. And it is going to be interesting to see how her lawyer gets her, I'm going to say off on this. And she might get off because the coroner claims they can't figure out if the baby was born dead or alive, which I think is full of it, but whatever. So French influencer jailed for 6 months over viral syringe attack prank. The people be doing too much for this money. Let's take a look.
A French influencer has been jailed after he filmed himself playing a twisted prank on random bystanders, in which he made them think they'd been injected with a mystery substance. Elon M., who goes by the online moniker Amin Mojito, shared the videos which went viral in June, just before the country's World Music Day. At the time, France had been shaken by recent unfounded rumors of syringe needle spiking attacks at festivals and parties. As a result, people were outraged when they saw the influencer post the footage of himself pretending to stab multiple horrified pedestrians with an empty needle. The 27-year-old was arrested shortly after the videos went viral and was kept in solitary confinement for his safety during his pretrial detention for nearly 2 months. In court, prosecutors described Mojito as a public menace for the fear he caused to numerous people seen in the clips, who told the court they experienced genuine panic after thinking they'd been injected with an unknown substance. Prosecutors also alleged that Mojito's viral prank may have caused the phenomenon to become a reality. During the World Music Day festival in June, police received 145 reports of needle spiking. However, few cases were confirmed. The defendant told the court, "I didn't think it could hurt people. That was my mistake. I didn't think about others. I thought about myself," according to French newspaper Liberation. Mojito also said the twisted stunt was intended to draw up buzz for an online physical exercise program and to revamp his online persona. Prosecutors last month requested a sentence of 15 months in prison under electronic monitoring, including 5 months suspended. On Friday, the Paris Criminal Court sentenced Mojito to 12 months in prison, 6 of which were suspended, for violence with a weapon that did not result in incapacity for work, Liberation reported. He was also ordered to pay a fine of over $1,700 and is banned from owning or carrying a weapon for 3 years.
I'm not going to read it because it will pretty much say mostly the same thing as the article. Julius, your thoughts? I'm tired of these people trying to do whatever to just to go viral.
Think before you do something. What happened to that? Now let's see. Let's do the biggest prank this, the biggest prank that. What happened to thinking before doing something? Where has that gone? Where has common sense gone? Now you always had people who used to do pranks, but the way it is now, Diva, I agree. It is out of control.
It is. Thank you. Savannah, your thoughts?
His sentence is not enough. That is absolutely not enough. That is terrorizing people with a syringe, not knowing what he has in that. Is he mentally stable? These dumb A kids doing stuff for clicks and views at the detriment of innocent bystanders. I would have wailed on him. I would have beat him, if anything. If he would have approached me with any type of syringe. I don't know if he's used the same syringe on others. Am I catching something? $1,000 and 50 months house arrest? Well, no, absolutely not. He needed to do some jail time, at least 3 to 5 years. That is being a menace and a terror to society. I don't know. I don't find any humor in this. I don't understand what made them think that this is funny. Who would? That is a complete panic and freak out, being approached with a syringe, not knowing what's in it, and if he's even used it on other people. I mean, that could be a death sentence for someone. That's infuriating. I'm sorry, that sentence is not enough for him.
Thank you. In my opinion, your thoughts?
I agree with Savannah. That is, man, I'm telling you, the mere fact that we already have stuff that's going around that we can't, get rid of. And then he's walking around with a syringe. We don't even know if it's a clean syringe. Picking people with the same syringe, like, this could have been wrong on so many levels. This could have went wrong on so many levels. You could cause people to have a heart attack from fear. And he's talking about he was just trying to increase his phenomenal. This is the thing. It wasn't even funny. What was the prank supposed to do? We already got this dumb man thinking he know what he doing. He can't run the country. Now you gonna fear people with something talking about it's a prank? I can't with these people no more. I really can't.
Katrina, your thoughts?
Yeah, he didn't run past the right one. He's lucky to be still walking because some people don't find that funny, and some people think like, okay, what you did to me, and it would have been self defense because anybody he could have poked somebody in the vein, and anybody with a naked needle with air bubbles can cause their embolism, and it could have went to that person's heart, lungs.
He didn't have the needle part on it, but it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I ain't know that part. I'm sorry about that, Deep. But
Uh-huh.
anyway, I thought he did. But either way, he lucky he ran across the right one for him to still be walking. Because you don't just come stick no needle in me, and I don't know what this needle been, and who are you, and what's on this needle? Is you crazy? So yeah, I'm with Savannah. In my opinion, everybody else he need to do jail time. I know they said what 12 months in or whatsoever, but think about what the people might go and say. Well, he stuck me with this needle and I got so and so now and this happened. But yeah, he need to do more time. He need to do more time. You playing with people's lives, and it's not funny right now to be playing with people's lives because too much stuff is going around and going out. He need to be in there. He need to be locked up. So now he's gonna be in there with the people that can probably gonna stick him with some. But we'll see. That's all I got.
Thank you. Wayne, your thoughts?
Now, isn't this guy from France?
Yeah.
Okay, so their laws probably different from our laws. And I think his sentence over it was appropriate. Okay, now if somebody got hurt, that's one thing. But fortunately, even though the prank went wrong, nobody actually got hurt. I think this man will learn his lesson. I mean, I all this time, putting people at 3, 4, 5 years, Savannah. I think this would be enough for an influencer. If this man had never really done any wrong and did any, and served time, why put him away that long? I think he'll learn his lesson. That's it.
Is all I could say. Callie?
I don't trust him out in society. Somebody that is 27 years old running around here doing something like this is sick. So they can put it online and they think that this is funny.
Right.
Yeah, at 20, you almost 30 years old. This is so wrong. And this is one of these things where I'm sure they don't really have like a real law that's really made for something like this in France. But something needs to be done with him. I don't know what, but something. Maybe he needs to be just picking up trash on the side of the road for the next 10 years. I don't know. But something needs to be done with him because this is really disturbing. Like somebody could be like messed up, like paranoid for the rest of their life behind this.
I think it's problematic. And I also got to say this too. Not only is it problematic, I think some of these influencers that want to do pranks, I want to say, what's the top YouTuber? What's his name? Darn it. Mr.
Beast.
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast.
Yeah, he actually did a prank that they was like he went too far. Like I think it's just too much. I mean, if you're gonna do something, I think if it's funny, that's fine. But literally coming up to somebody and doing a syringe, and if he wanted to do a prank like that, it should have been just all people that he knew, and he was acting like he was doing random people, but it was all people that he knew, and it was a prank. I think that's what he should have did. But literally, legit going up to real people and doing that is messy. It's real messy. Cause I know there's one person I follow on Instagram that do kind of crazy stories, but it be all people that he know at the end of the day. You may not know initially, like, because when you the way the video is, but then you could later tell like it's all people that he knows and he's doing a prank. And it's funny because you actually know it's not like real people that he's messing with. But this man literally went up to real people and they was like, hold up, wait a minute, a syringe? And like somebody said, somebody could have literally like had a heart attack or had nightmares, or may, even when they found out that he didn't have anything in it, they could still be thinking, but I felt something. I think he really did. So it's unfair. And I think listen, jail is there for a reason. And I think sometimes you do got to pay the piper. And I think he needed to do some time. And he's going to do 6 months and then 6 months probation. So it's not as horrific as it is, but I think it's bad enough so that next time he won't play those games again. Listen, thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. Y'all know the routine. If you didn't hit that like button on the way in, hit it on the way out. I'm going to stay connected. Of course, we all are to this David story. I'm staying connected to that. I ain't letting up off of that cheerleader because I'm interested in knowing how they're going to handle her situation. I have a thought process in my head how they're going to handle it because I never seen no coroner come back. Oh, I can't tell what happened to this baby. I think it's lies. It's all lies. It's a certain way that they already know if your baby was born and took a breath because it shows in the lungs. Now, she didn't submerge this baby in water. They didn't find the baby 30 days later and the body was all decomposed. They found the baby shortly after she gave birth within a 24-hour period. And you try to tell us you can't figure out what happened to this baby? Stop. And in that case, I also think the roommates, they know more than they say they know it, but that's a whole nother thing. Okay. And then I guess soon we'll know what jail Diddy will be heading to. But listen, guys, I appreciate y'all. Y'all know the routine. If you ain't hit that like button on the way in, hit it on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody. Choo choo.
Choo choo.